We're going to talk about adding and subtracting integers, right? Signed numbers, numbers with a plus or minus sign in front of them. And if you already are well versed in that and you like to follow those specific rules and you're good at it, then you may not want to listen to this and confuse yourself. But if you have trouble adding and subtracting signed numbers, let's try to simplify those rules. Remember how simple the rules are for multiplying and dividing? We can kind of simplify the adding and subtracting like that too. Okay, instead of adding extra signs, right? Sometimes people tend to think, oh, that makes it easier if I show you the two signs of the numbers, but in my opinion, it just makes it harder. Okay, it's more cluttered, and in reality, you rarely ever see two signs next to each other. So if there are two signs in a row, always condense it down to one sign. And here's the rule you have to remember, just like with multiplying or dividing. The same sign means a plus sign. Opposite signs mean a minus sign, right? Whether you're adding, subtracting, condensing signs, multiplying, or dividing, right? So if the signs are the same, change to a plus. If the signs are different, change to a minus. Now, once you get it down to one sign, you look at the sign in front of each number. Exact same rule. If the signs are the same, plus the numbers. Okay? If the signs are different, minus the numbers. And you always keep the sign of the larger number. Remembering, if you get a 0, it's neither a positive nor negative. Okay? So, right here, I don't have multiple signs. Oh, let me get my pen, guys. I do not have multiple signs. That's the first step, condensed down to one sign. The signs are different. That means minus. I'm going to subtract the numbers without regard to the sign. 5 minus 2 is 3. You keep the sign in front of the biggest number. Now, I'm putting this for emphasis. Technically, if the sign is plus that we're keeping, we don't have to write it, right? Okay. If you've got two signs next to each other, anytime from now on, two signs next to each other, condense it to one sign. If the signs are different, it means minus. Okay, now it's just like this problem. I look at the signs in front of the number, and if there's not a number there, it's understood to be a plus. So because the signs are different, minus the numbers. 4 minus 3 is 1. Keep the sign that's in front of the biggest number. Okay, there's no multiple signs, so the signs are the same. That means plus. Add the numbers. Keep the sign that's in front of the biggest number. Okay, this is a plus, so the signs are different. That means minus. 12 minus 5 is 7. Keep the sign in front of the biggest number. The signs are different. That means minus. 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Keep the sign in front of the bigger number. Uh-oh. Multiple signs. Get rid of those stupid double signs. Okay, signs are the same. That means it's a plus. Okay, and now, of course, it's 5 plus 7, or signs are the same, so that means plus. Keep the sign in front of the biggest number. Okay, hopefully that'll help. If we're still having trouble with that, hopefully that'll help us clarify those rules. Okay, when we have more than two numbers, right, if we're adding a string of numbers, it might be helpful to know our properties. We have the commutative property of addition, tells us we can add numbers in any order. 10 plus 2 is the same as 2 plus 10, right? 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, it doesn't matter. And the associative property, it tells us that we can change the grouping of the numbers being added. Okay, in other words, 2 plus 3 plus 5, you can either do 2 plus 3 first, or you could do 3 plus 5 first, right? Or you could do 2 plus 5 first. Notice, anyway, we get 10 in the end. Okay, so, excuse me. let's try to use these properties to help us make our work as easy as possible. Remember, we don't have calculators, so let's try to make the math easy as possible. Okay, first step. Notice it's just a bunch of adding and subtracting. And so first step, get rid of those stupid double signs, right? I don't have a double sign there, so it stays. But here the signs are different, means minus. Okay? Now, I could just go across and add in the order that they're written if I want to, right? 8 plus 6, I could get 14 minus 8. Or I could say, oh, look, if I rearrange those, this is real easy to see 8 minus 8 for a final answer of 6. Right? Get rid of stupid double signs. If the signs are different, it means minus. Okay, there's not a double sign in here. If the signs are different, it means minus. Now, in order to do this, when I move the numbers around, don't forget that sign in front of the number, that's part of the number. This is a -8, that's a +6, a +8. So when I moved this -8, I had to move the -8. Okay, I can't just move the numbers. So one thing, sometimes it's handy, is just put all of the positive numbers first and then the negative numbers. I can rearrange them and do any order I want. And then notice I don't have to think about my rules so much. 2 plus 12 is 14 minus 1 minus 9. 14 minus 1 is 13 minus 9, and 13 minus 9 is 4. Oh, that was just regular math like we do in second grade, right? I didn't have to worry about my signs if I thought about rearranging the numbers. Okay, stupid double signs. Let's get rid of them. Signs are different. It means minus. No double sign, so keep that sign. Signs are the same. Hold on. I missed a number in there. Okay, here's the 3. Here's the signs. That's a minus, and there's my other 3. Not a double sign, so it stays. Signs are the same. It's really a plus. Okay, so there's 3 minus 3. That's easy to do. 3 minus 3. Okay, and this one, the signs are different. It means it really doesn't help me to change that around. If I want to write it 7 minus 10, I could. Okay. Okay, so signs are different. It means minus the numbers. 10 minus 7 is 3. Keep the sign in front of the first one. Now, notice here's one thing that we could have done if I was thinking about rearranging. But to me, that 3 minus 3 right there, I could have put my positive numbers first, like we talked about over here. The 3's positive, the 7's positive. Then this 3 is negative, that 10 is negative. And had 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. I still wound up with having to do that last step. So 3 minus 3, that was just as easy of a shortcut, right? Okay, hopefully that little condensing of those rules will help with that. Let me know if you need anything.